Cobalt Game Mixer 676 here. For the first time since my second video, this isn't going to be one of me just randomly playing a game. This is going to be a video, the first video of its kind, a discussion video on what I think of this BFDI situation. So, 4 years ago, we have BFDI, his origins, and things were going very smoothly, as you can see. I mean, honestly, every single episode was coming out on time, and eventually, Season 2 came out. After BFDI 2, problems were a bit apparent, though. BFDI 3 was just over half the length of BFDI 2 because they only had half the time to work on it. And then, of course, problems started to rise up when BFDI 4 was delayed to November 1st. Things weren't looking good, and Michael and Carrie were just going for side projects here to keep us entertained, but all that did was just take more time out of their animating schedule. Guys, I respect you all and what you do, but seriously, you don't have to work yourselves to the point where you have to work on an animated series and a million side projects. Luckily, we did manage BFDI 5, but then, of course, it was going to be more than 22 minutes long, and I just thought, okay, this is just going to be a 25-minute episode. But no. The finished product is about 45 minutes of this 5-parter, and the second part is a half-finished game. So that's been postponed and hasn't been worked on ever since for quite some time. I know that the game was pretty interesting, but eventually things began to fall apart when we got to level 53. Carrie simply couldn't make any more levels because he was so busy. So as a result, they resort back to the normal animated series. BFDI 5C came out, but before then, and before the game came out, the fate of BFDI was pretty much hanging in the balance. Then, after 5C, I was hoping for the episode to end there, but unfortunately, it just led to another part, 5D, and that just led to another part. Carrie said that he was hoping to get BFDI back on a normal schedule, again, a reliable schedule, mind you, and they said it was going to come around July-ish. And for the first time ever since BFDIA 3, they got their initial deadline. So, things were beginning to look up for BFDIA 5E when it was coming out in August. And I must say, they cut this one very, very close. I was pleased with them when they actually managed to get 2 episodes out in a row on their initial deadline. So, I was beginning to trust them again. But September 1st, disaster struck. It turns out that they simply couldn't continue BFDI and work on school at the same time. So they had a live stream, and they've basically been on hiatus. It's rather it saddens me to see what the show has come to. It went from a fantastic original concept, basically a nice little version of Total Drama and Survivor, to a show that's no one really cares about. I mean, the way I see it, I think the balance of power in the object community has shifted greatly. BFDI is pretty much at the bottom of its losing streak at this point. And although although the answer might lie within the live stream of when this break is going to end, I doubt it will. I'm not going to be watching 2.5 hours. So, here's what the object show community has come to. Object Universe is on hiatus. We hear nothing from Carrie. BFDI is on a break for who knows how long. Inanimate Insanity 2, no idea. Object Mayhem is way behind on episode 12. The Optical and the Illusions is just the crappiest show I can think of, and they're extremely delayed at this point, about 2 months. I believe that's all of them, but anyways, that leaves Brawl of the Objects, and Brawl of the Objects, Anko, I have to say, you've just been doing your job so well. I mean, at this point, you guys are now the big dogs. Oh yeah, Object Overload, it's a small chance that it's going to be canceled, but it's a slim chance. Anyways, Anko, I just wanted to say, compared to everyone else, great job. I mean, you don't overwork yourself because of this, and I like how you're just taking a break for the holidays and then planning to come out in February. I like how you're doing that, but Jack and Jellyfy, you're just something all over again. Seriously, you don't have to set deadlines for yourself. Just, if you can't do it, you can't do it. I know it's gonna be a letdown for everyone, but at least have closure and move on. I mean, I'm just very sad to see, very disappointed to see that this great channel has fallen. I mean, look at how far away BFDI 5A was. It's almost been a year, so BFDI is almost 4 years old, and we're still seeing absolutely nothing. We would be so far in at this point. We'd probably be at the merge right now in BFDIA had there not been any delays. Michael and Carrie, if you guys just wouldn't work yourselves so hard and not raise everyone's expectations only to disappoint them, I'm sure BFDI would be a much better show. I mean, seriously, I like what you guys have been doing with these extended storylines and plots, but honestly, it doesn't have to be that extended. I mean, no other object show has done a 45-minute episode that takes 5 parts to do, with the second in part being a postponed game until later. Not to mention the fact that about 3 minutes of it all is just some filler. The last 2 minutes of 5A is just filler to how shall I say, commemorate, hint hint, the deaths, or supposed deaths, of Free Smart and half of Team No Name. So, in conclusion, I really want you guys to just stop setting deadlines, and if you can't do it, you can't do it. And also, stop wasting your time with side projects, because all that's going to do is take time away from BFDI. And if you have any spare time at all to animate, just animate when you feel like it. If you're not feeling it, then just don't. You don't have to work yourselves over to the point where you're not getting any sleep at night. Anyways, I know I'm probably not going to be paid much attention here because I have only 15 subscribers and I'm not very well known, but if you are watching this, then please share this video with everyone in the object community, everyone you can find that's involved in the object community like I am, and tell them about this. I really encourage you to, because this is something that has to happen. I really want them to know. This is Cobalt signing off. I'll see you guys on the next one.